Hello there, everybody. I am Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. I'm the founder of the Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program, creator of Dream Business Academy, founder of No Hassle Newsletters, and host of Dream Business Radio, the podcast now in its 10th year. Pretty crazy. Welcome to another fantastic live edition of Dream Business Radio. My very special guest is Diamond Bill Warren. With a name like that, you know it's going to be good. How you doing, Bill?
I'm doing great, Jim. Good to be here.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited to talk retail and things like that. But hey, folks, before we jump in with Diamond Bill, this episode is brought to you by the Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program. If you're an entrepreneur, small business owner who's tired of slow to no growth in your business, if you're feeling overwhelmed, unfocused, and especially if you really desire how to create multiple streams of revenue, something I'm very good at, then you want to be part of the Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program. Go to Dream Biz Coaching, dreambiz.coaching.com. But as I said, I'm excited about this show because my roots go all the way back. I mean, when I was 15, I started in retail, probably like most 15-year-olds. And I was into retail, rising up through regional manager. Then we franchised a retail business. So I've got a lot of retail in my genes. Anyway, so Diamond Bill Warren, I'm going to read his very impressive resume. Diamond Bill Warren. I almost think it's Friday, but it's only Thursday. But it's kind of like my Friday, so I'm a little punchy. Diamond Bill Warren is a retail marketing expert for the jewelry and gift industry. He's also an in-demand coach. And Bill owns and continues to operate a very successful jewelry store in the mountains of Western North Carolina. In addition to his successful retail business, he's the founder of Diamond Bill Marketing, and he's also the creator of the Ultimate Jewelers Mastermind Program. Bill is the author of two great books. First book that came out is called The Fastest Way to a Full Recovery, 5 Immediate Profit-Enhancing Strategies Jewelers Can Use Today to Create a Thriving Business. And the second book he published 1 year later, so a little bit of an underachiever there, 2 books in 2 years, is called The Ultimate Jeweler's Success Guide, 7 Strategies to Significantly Increase Revenue and Boost Profits. He's also a columnist for multiple publications, which I think is very cool. I never really did that, but I think it's a really cool thing to increase your own prominence and kind of push your star up, as I like to say. In his spare time, Bill is also a sought-after motivational coach or motivational speaker, and he gives many talks throughout the retail industry, not just in jewelry. Because let's face it, retail skills, sales skills, marketing skills, how to bring in traffic, how to close more business, those really go throughout retail. Bill just happens to be in the jewelry business. He also draws upon his nearly 40 years experience in retail to teach and coach others for ever increasing success. Now, Bill has an amazing wife, Angie. They've been married for over 31 years. They have a son, Dylan, who just got married. So that was pretty cool. And Bill and Angie are both multi-instrumentalists and vocalists with multiple recordings to their credit. And you should see them on stage. It's something to behold. They love to travel and enjoy spending time. They have a beach house in Hilton Head, and Bill's following a little bit in my footsteps. He's now Captain Bill. He's got his own boat, and there's so much more. But let's get right to it. Bill, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to Dream Business Radio.
Thank you, Jim. Great to be with you today.
So, in full disclosure, and you probably can tell because I'm perhaps being a little more than my usual silly self, Bill and I are really good friends. It's one of the Bill is a VIP elite mastermind member in my program now, and going on I think 3 years.
Right.
And it just one of the real blessings. It doesn't happen all the time, but Stephanie and I consider Bill and Angie really dear friends. So it's fun when it works out that way. Yes. Now, Bill, you and I, not you and I, you have I sort of do also, but you have an amazing story of success. This is you. I'm interviewing you. And
are you sure?
I'm not sure of anything. There's a lot of things going on that I haven't shared, but nobody else does. Anyway, you have such an amazing story of success on multiple levels. And today, I really want to share with our audience a few of the strategies I think that you've created and or implemented to make your retail business such an amazing success story. But first, let's fill in a little of the backstory for those people who may not be familiar with Diamond Bill. Just give us like when you opened your business, tell us how big the metropolis was that you started to open your business, and speedily get us up to where we are today. And then we'll keep going. Thank you.
So we've been in our own jewelry store for Since 1993. It's been an amazing journey. We're in a small town, Western North Carolina, population 3,800. We have 2 hound dogs, 1 town drunk we share with the next town over, and 2 traffic lights. And it's absolutely a beautiful, small Blue Ridge Mountain town. Loved raising our son here, and wouldn't have had it any other way. But in being in such a small town, it has its own challenges, and you have to learn how to reach out from within your own 5 to 10 mile radius and discover that, hey, you can literally do business all over the world using modern technology. It took a few years to get there, Jim, but again, the journey has been amazing, and now I'm somewhat semi-retired, you could say, working
Yeah.
3 or 4 days a week. It's awesome. Out of that wonderful and successful jewelry store came another business, and it's wonderful. The Diamond Bill Marketing and then the Ultimate Jewelers Mastermind Group that I now lead all became as a result of having a successful retail operation, and it continues to grow today.
That's awesome. So, as I mentioned, in 2020, you published your first book, The Fastest Way to a Full Recovery, which is a phenomenal title because in 2020, what was going on? The pandemic, right?
Absolutely.
And I thought the timing of that book was just fantastic. I want to read a
You
few
know,
of the Yes, I want to read a
go
few of
ahead.
the chapter titles, and then I want to ask you to comment, maybe a little bit on all of them, or maybe just one or two, depending
Sure.
how brief your answers are. But so I love the title. So be everywhere and keep smiling. How to re-engage your customers. I'm sure people really want to hear about that one. And why business as usual could mean out of business. Which one do you want to tackle first, Bill?
Well, let's talk about be everywhere and keep smiling. Obviously, I'm a happy guy. So
Yeah.
I'm always smiling in my videos and in my pictures, things like that. But the thing that I quickly discovered was that we needed to reach out of our own marketplace, Jim. And you certainly helped my mindset on that in learning how using just things like Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, that we could literally be selling all across the United States and the world, which was a wonderful, wonderful unintended consequence at first. And
Yeah.
my goodness, the thing that I love to teach retailers is virtual selling and creating this revenue stream that can take your business to the next level. Because if we stay within our box, our limitations, so to speak, it's going to be tough, especially for those who were like Angie and I in a small town. So, using these various technologies, we sell today all over the United States, and we have clients everywhere. It's a wonderful revenue stream and just one of many that we use.
I'm
So,
in awe, but I have to say I'm in awe when you do that. And I see you promote it, and you and Angie now, do you have like $1 million worth of cameras, or is it your iPhone? Like you guys go live from inside your store, and you kind of brand it, which is very cool. Like, hey, our so and so jewelry, show is coming on, or something like that.
Goldmine Jewelry TV.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that. How did you figure it out? And do you broadcast on Facebook? I think you were telling me you can now broadcast to your website. Like,
Right.
tell us tell us about a typical show.
Okay, well, typically, just like I have these banners behind me today, we have a backdrop that we use, and we use a little condenser microphone to help our sound improve the quality. And it's interesting, you would say, Jim, I probably have a drawer full of cameras that I've bought over the years, trying different things, but I always keep coming back to either an iPad Pro or my iPhone. I just find the color balance is great, the sound is good, and it's just the ease of use, being able to pinch and scroll, and being able to do that. How did we get started? Well, I had I had invested in backdrops, computer, all kinds of equipment and stands. And when 2020 hit, and we had to, like many retailers, we had to shut our store down
Yeah.
for a time. Well, that pushed us to get into the whole virtual selling mode and just to try it, because nothing ventured, nothing gained. And the first show we did, Jim, selling from our jewelry store, we discovered about that we had $4,000 in sales. Well, I thought,
Wow.
that's interesting and that's pretty good. let's try it again next week, Angie. And, we got over the nerves of doing it and just being in front of a camera. Hey, we're salespeople. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did another. It grew 8,000. We did another 12. And eventually I'm proud to say, and very humbled by the fact that we did a event and a estate jewelry show, antique jewelry, that grossed $100,000 in 1 hour.
In an hour.
1
Oh my
hour.
gosh. Bill, now was this something that did you do your first one during the pandemic when the store was closed and you broadcast from the store?
We did. We snuck up there, Jim.
Yep.
So here we are, and Angie and
When
I
the
are
one
going back
cop
and
in your town was sleeping, you snuck up to your store.
yeah. Hey, Angie, look for the police. Are they?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so we did that. We offered free shipping, started doing it, and by golly, here is a whole new revenue stream. I encourage retailers all over to do this, and not just retailers, but any business person to investigate using virtual selling. Now, with the technology we've developed with my webmaster, not only can we broadcast to Facebook Live or Instagram, but we can broadcast live on our website. Do you remember last year, folks, when I think it was late 2021 when all of a sudden Facebook went down for a day?
Yes.
And those people who were relying on this income were freaking out. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, we have that problem solved in that we can not only broadcast from our website, but when you market well, when you know how to direct customers, we can send them to our website and be able to sell there. So Facebook, though I love it and sometimes I hate it, they can't shut me down, by golly.
Wow, that's good. And that'll be a whole can of worms. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But so I'm just curious, and then I'll move on. But I'm literally fascinated that you get on your iPhone or your iPad, put it on a stand, and you're broadcasting, and you're doing $100,000 in an hour. So are these pieces, and now do you go hold them up close? I mean, how do people actually buy them? If I was watching you online, I mean, obviously I've seen the shopping channel, and you make a phone call, right? And you get on, but how do you close
Right.
the sale?
Some people are calling in, and that's fine. And we've developed and hooked up with a technology called Sell by Text. Absolutely wonderful. All they have to say is item number one, sold.
Yeah.
And what happens is they text it to a number we have on the screen. It automatically bills their cell phone in a very safe, encrypted way. They pay over their cell phone. I get back to the store the next day. The money's deposited in the bank account. Well, they pick it up or I ship it, whatever the case may be. We did used to use PayPal and different things, and we do have regular customers we feel comfortable with who call in and give us their credit card numbers. So there's a few different ways, but the sell by text has been a godsend for making it easy.
Wow, that's incredible. And I think the Be Everywhere, Keep Smiling also speaks to the fact that you're on social media all the time. You go out for walks in the morning, you're broadcasting,
Wow.
you're very prolific on, for your blogs and Facebook and things like that. So this is probably one of those questions. What do you call it when you know the answer already? But why business as usual could mean out of business? I mean, it's
Well,
similar. I'm guessing one of the answers you just gave is not business as usual. So
right.
If people don't innovate like that, they're probably going down, right?
If retailers keep doing the same old thing, example, most jewelers, gift shop owners, they open their store on Monday and they may run a newspaper ad on Wednesday. They hope they're rich by Saturday. That model is flawed. That model doesn't work. You've got to be appearing in multiple places using technology, texting, email, all of these different venues. Because my friends, simply if you don't, just as Jim wisely does, Jim's everywhere, and I've copied a lot of his model in that you've got to appear everywhere. If you don't, I would say in the next few years you will be out of business.
Yeah. So as I alluded again in the introduction, you must really have enjoyed the writing process, which most people abhor. Oh, I hate to write a book. But so you wrote your second book inside of a year after publishing your first, The Ultimate Jeweler Success Guide. Let's do the same thing because it really brought out a really good conversation. So you got to, I'm going to read several of the chapters because I actually couldn't find just 3 or 4 of my favorites.
Sure.
Discover hidden revenue streams, invest in profitable relationships. I want to know more about that. Attract referrals. Who doesn't want that?
Right.
Marketer of your business, online marketing that generates real profits. Let's actually, you kind of covered that. Net drives success. I like that. And deliver a world-class experience. Let's go first to invest in profitable relationships. Tell me about that chapter, Bill.
Well, a lot of times a business owner will automatically think that relates to a vendor or something like that. And in many cases it does. But what we're actually referring to here is investing in those profitable relationships of those who build your business, the top 20%. And yes, it's the old 80-20 rule. 80% of your business comes from 20% of your clients. Well, you learn who those clients are with your point of sale system, with whatever client retention systems you're using, and you learn to market to them frequently, more often, give them gift certificates, give them multiple reasons to come in your store. And investing in those relationships has made all the difference in the world, not only in my jewelry store, but in others. Most people blindly, constantly try to get new clients. We need to be marketing more and more efficiently to the clients we already have. And I know you espouse that all the time.
Yeah. What about referrals? It's one thing that everybody wants. I want more referrals. And it's one of those things. And I can teach people how to get referrals, right? But
Right.
I hate, one of the main things you do is you ask for them, right? And it's just like, I never feel, I don't know what, it's just my upbringing. I don't want to put out my customer. Okay, can you do something for me? It feels
Right.
like you're asking your customer to do something. What's the latest and greatest mindset on how to attract more referrals?
Well, one thing is just letting your customers know, first of all, hey, are you aware of our referral program? And rather than just waiting for people to, hey, I sent you a customer. Oh, well, here's something, whatever the case may be. Let your clients know right up front, hey, if you would refer 5 customers in, for every one of them, I'm going to give you $50 to spend in my store, no time limit.
Oh,
Use it as you see fit. That is something that I do. Hey, let me share a quick story with you. I had a friend refer someone who bought a $20,000 diamond ring. What do you think I did?
wow.
Now, most jewelers, well, they'll send a thank you. They may get on the telephone. Hey, thanks for doing that. Not only did I send them a $300 gift card to spend, I sent them a nice bottle of wine. I sent them out for a nice night on the town. Do you think they'll refer more people to me?
I think
Yeah.
so.
I went out of the
Wow.
way to encourage, develop, and to stroke and rub this kind of relationship. And now with referral selling, the second easiest sell in the world is those who have been referred to your jewelry store or your retail establishment, whatever the case may be. I love referral selling. It works so well. And hey, let's face it, uh, we all know it costs to bring a new client in the door. When you have somebody referred to you, that's a implied endorsement. There's a powerful
Yep.
marketing tool, and hey, it's one of the easiest sales. It's also one of the least expensive if you really sit down and analyze the nuts and bolts of it.
You know, so a couple things that you're doing very well, because I see a lot of companies, oh, they'll give you 10% off your next purchase. What a yawner that is. Who gives a damn about 10% off my next purchase? So if somebody gets a bottle of wine with a nice note, or that you give them $100 to go out to dinner at a restaurant or something like that, it's like, that is memorable. Now, there's something else. You are showing appreciation, but you know what else is really working? And this is a little behind the scenes stuff, and there's nothing like mischievous about it, but it's called the power of reciprocity. When you do something nice for somebody, it's almost like built in. They're going to remember it and want to. It's like serving in tennis. Put the ball back over the net.
Yes.
A great example of that is when you turn on Facebook or something, it says somebody's birthday. A lot of people don't even want to be recognized, but hey, everybody, oh, guess whose birthday it is? And they get a bunch of cards. Now they feel compelled to do it in return.
Yeah.
You know, um, I grew up in the late 60s and the early 70s. And back then, way before there was any security in airport, there's let's see, the the folks who were giving out flowers in the airport. I can't remember, but
Hare Krishnas.
yeah, the Hare Krishnas, right? And well, when they were just in the airports asking for donations, they really sucked wind, didn't get a lot. So then they started giving out flowers. And what they learned, and this is probably the mischievous part. So what they learned is that when they put the flower in somebody's hand, like didn't ask, would you like a flower? No, thank you. I'm in a hurry. Boom. When they put the flower in the hand and then they asked for a donation, their donations were like 80% up, Bill.
Yes.
And then what happens? So somebody would give because they felt the power of reciprocity, even though it's like, mischievous. And then a lot of people, I actually heard somebody talk about this, and they said people would then toss the flower in the trash. What do you think they did? They went up behind it and get the flower out again because that flower was bringing them money.
It was. But hey, let me share one other thing.
Yeah.
Investing in profitable relationships also means, hey, being in and around those who encourage you, who uplift you, who expand your thinking, because the mind once expanded never goes back to the same size. I love being a part of masterminds. I have my own mastermind with jewelers, and I'm a part of masterminds. Obviously, I enjoy being in the Dream Business Mastermind. I love hearing Jeff Herring. I love hearing Phil Brakefield. Sometimes they absolutely crack me up, but they're always.
We do have fun.
We do.
We have fun making money.
Yeah. And it doesn't always have to be a mastermind within your industry. It can be just like-minded business individuals. And one of the great things about that, I picked this up a while back in a mastermind, and that was, one of the greatest sources of ideas and marketing is coming to you every day, but yet you're throwing it away. And that is the form of your mailbox. Do you just look at the mail and throw it in file 13, or do you take the time to analyze it and look at it? Because the best marketing minds in the world are sending you their best material, and yet you're not paying attention to it or thinking, oh, that wouldn't work in my business. Right. I always try to think, how can I make this work in my business? So a while back, you were interviewing Jeff Herring, and I love the interview and talking about Pinterest. I'd sort of let Pinterest go to the wayside.
Me too.
And it encouraged me. It stoked my fires to, hey, Bill, get back busy being on Pinterest. And that would have never happened had we not talked about it or been in the masterminds. It's a source of fresh money-making ideas and encouragement.
Yeah. And when I'm doing interviews like I'm doing right now, I'm cognizant of the fact that there's people viewing and then there'll be people listening, etc. So I'm always doing my best to conduct an interview that brings out information and content that my audience will like and benefit from. But you can tell when I'm digging on something, I'm like, man, I start coming out of my chair a little bit. I'm like, man, tell me more about that. It's just like, wow, that's so cool. I don't want to blow up Jeff Herring's head, but that was a really good one anyway. So Bill, what do you mean by net drive success? What do you mean by that?
Well, a wise man once told me, you know where I'm going with this. Okay.
Yeah.
Net. Oh my good. Gross profit. Gross is for vanity. Net is for sanity.
Right. There you go.
And I love that that saying. And it's so true. Net is what drives your success.
Yes.
Does it sound great to have in our case, a retail store? Does it sound great to have a $5 million a year store? It sounds good, but what if your expenses are 4.8 million? You're really not doing all that well. Would it be better? Would it not be better to have a store that's doing $1 million a year, but you're netting $500,000 a year with less stress and less problems and all that? That's what I'm getting at in there. You so accurately speak to this, but in my own case, I have seen it time and time again. These retailers who are striving so hard for huge gross profit, but they're not watching their expenses. They're not managing things, and they're allowing expenses to get out of control. And they're only focusing on gross. The place we need to really laser beam focus on is net.
That is absolutely true. Mm-hmm. And you gave a great example. And one of the things that I do is help people create a dream business. And I want to have 7 figures. I'd like to get to 8 figures. I said, okay, let's just look at some of the things that can, not always, but that can come from a business that big. Lots of employees, lots of HR, lots of headaches.
Yes.
what if you had a business, like you said, that does $1 million, has $900,000 worth of expenses, therefore you net maybe say $100,000. I said, what if you had a business that did $250,000 or $300,000? You had $80,000 in expenses, right? And
There you
and
go.
you only had maybe one employee. Which would you like to have, right? So it is really about the net. What does Phil say? I've worked without a net. Phil, there's a Phil's sense of humor. So we got about 5 minutes. Multiple streams of revenue. How? I mean, obviously, so you have your jewelry store, and you have your mastermind and coaching program. You have Diamond Bill marketing, and you're speaking. You got your books, etc. But multiple streams of revenue within your store. I mean, do you count like your online sales and is everything a separate revenue stream per
Well,
se?
everybody tends to lump it together, Jim. And I look at online selling as one thing. I look at virtual, the Facebook Live as another. I look at joint ventures as another. Referral selling as another. We have a repair shop in our store, appraisal business. All of these are revenue streams. You don't lump them all together and say, well, that's it. Most people focus on walk-in traffic. We need to be focusing on other things. Walk-in traffic's great, and we'll always have so much of that as a retailer if you have a brick and mortar location. But here's the thing: there's so many other revenue streams that are available. We also have a ladies' boutique as well. My wife and her sister do. It's their thing, but it's our family business, and they do so well with it. So you've got to look at all of these things and always be thinking, what new revenue stream could I bring into the business? I'll share this. I know we're running out of time, but
Okay.
I came into the store one day. I looked at an old piece of computerized engraving equipment that had been collecting dust. Okay. I said, that is a wonderful piece of equipment. What could I be doing with it? I went out and started courting the pet industry. We all love our pets. Well, take a picture of your pet's paw, email it to me. I will turn that into jewelry. Oh my God,
Wow.
new revenue stream, fingerprint jewelry, handwriting, all of this. But you've got to take time with fresh eyes, have a coach that will help you see the new revenue streams that maybe you are not looking at or you're missing.
That's pretty cool. Last thing I want to talk about is you mentioned earlier that you're semi-retired, and people are going, "What the hell?" You literally, so you did something. I'm thinking about that 2 months ago, if my memory is correct.
Right.
It takes a great deal of courage. I mean, you now have a boat, so you like being out on your boat on the lake. You have a beach house in Hilton Head.
Right.
You shortened the hours your store is open. Like most people like expanding the hours so we can catch everybody at once. You shortened your hours. Are you open 3 or 4 days a week now?
We're open Tuesday through Friday. And
And not even on Saturday, because that's a hell of a boating day, right?
that's a heck of a boating day. And I've got to be honest. At first, there was a little twinge in my gut, but once I've never been afraid to try things, Jim. And this has been a blessing in disguise. Stress, everything. Hey, Angie and I have loved it. And yeah, I work 3 days in the store. Thursdays are my day to work with my private coaching clients in my mastermind, Ultimate Jewelers Mastermind. It's been wonderful. Here's the thing that happened: scarcity creates demand.
That's
The,
right.
the more I'm gone, the more people want me. So I get the more profitable, meaningful clients coming to me. My sales closing ratio is somewhere between 90 and 95%.
Wow. And that is a whole scarcity thing. The other thing I learned, I mean, back in my 20s when I was managing bike stores. So if we were open 5 or 6 days, eventually 7 days a week, and there was like a nail in the shop. So these are the bikes that need to be repaired. These are the bikes that need to be built. If
Right.
you come in and there was like 12 bikes that needed servicing on Monday, somehow everybody in the back got all the 12 bikes done. Then there was a slow day, and then there was 4 bikes. Those 4 bikes took up the whole day. It's like whatever. So you could pack it in. Now for you, if you were, say, we're doing so much business across 5 days or 6 days, and now you whittle it down to 4 days, you're just much busier those 4 days. It's not like people are going somewhere else, correct?
That is 100% truth.
That's awesome. I love this show. Now, Bill, I think I would encourage people to rewatch it. I know I always say that, but go watch the part. And I didn't catch the timestamp, but where Bill talked about taking his iPhone or his iPad. I don't have one here, but you know what they look like, and broadcasting from his jewelry store, selling in an hour $100,000 worth of jewelry. Who doesn't want that? Bill, this is awesome. How can people learn about you? I mean, your books are obviously at Amazon. Where else can people go to connect with you?
Sure. The easiest way is www.diamondbillmarketing.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm easy to find. Love to have a relationship, speak with you. Easy to find. So just go to one of those places.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. It's
My pleasure.
A whole lot of fun. Hey, folks, that wraps up this very special interview with my good friend, Diamond Bill Warren. What a great name. You expect him to have diamonds all over his face, but no. I highly recommend you connect with him, follow him, and learn from him, as I always try and say without twisting my tongue. You can connect with me at getjimpalmer.com, getjimpalmer.com. If you're interested in being part of the Dream Business Mastermind with Bill and about 28 other very smart and savvy entrepreneurs that go to Dream Biz Coaching, dreambizcoaching.com. Remember, you can get free copies of all 6 of my books. This is 3. There's 3 others, either at Amazon as Kindle, in the iBook store, or in the barnesandnoble.com, bnn.com as Nook books. They're all free, so you can continue your education on Coach Jim here. Remember, this time next week, I think it is actually a Thursday again instead of Wednesday. This time next week, another fantastic interview. I am Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. Have a great holiday, everybody. It's the greatest country on God's green earth. Go celebrate the freedom and independence. And Bill, I will check with you later, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.